Hey, it's Chef Peter here from Last Call Catering and Cantina Bar, and I have an amazing thing to show you guys, charcuterie on demand. Let's dive in. Welcome to today's episode where I have a brand new feature for you guys, charcuterie on demand. I have my good friend Carmelia Ray here, and we're going to be talking about it. I'm going to be building the board, and she's going to be talking about what our new feature is.
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. First of all, charcuterie is I think one of the funnest foods, displays. It's just a variety, and it's so great on your eyes, right? You walk in and it's just like,
it's a showstopper.
It is a showstopper.
Yeah, I
think
it's
kind of like the feature in any party, right? You see that charcuterie board.
And everyone gravitates towards the charcuterie board. And,
I love it.
And I know I've been doing this for a while now, and I get the feedback from people that just love doing it and they love showing it off. And
Yes.
That's why I think it's great for date nights.
It's amazing for date nights, which is why we are partnering. We're going to be offering charcuterie on demand, as well as some really spicy and intimate charcuterie boards for couples.
It's going to be so much fun.
For
it's going to be hot.
date nights, and yeah, it's fun. We've got a bunch coming up. So
right
Peter,
now,
what are you doing right now?
So right now I'm going to start plating a board.
Okay.
I'm doing a traditional charcuterie, old school charcuterie board. So you're gonna be helping me with that side.
Okay.
I'll be doing this side.
All right.
And like I always say,
Helping you eat this stuff?
I'll eat after.
Okay.
But no, gonna be all about plating. We're gonna be setting up the board to show it off. You wanna show off the food. And what I like to doing, like I always said, is real estate is taking up the space,
Everywhere.
the big stuff first.
All right.
So I'm gonna leave that to you to how you want to do it, because there is no right or wrong way of doing it.
Okay, great.
So
it just has to, at the end, kind of blend together.
Exactly.
Right?
You want to do it so that people gravitate towards it, they eat it, and they like it and enjoy it.
I love
and
that.
you're showcasing everything, right?
Yes. And by the way, we are offering charcuterie boards for vegans too. So it can be a vegan platter, it could be a fish platter, it could be
pescatarian.
a hot or cold, everything, something for everybody. Because
no one's left out.
Inclusive, okay?
Nobody's left out.
So what kind of meat is this that you were cutting
So
out
that's
here?
Charcuterie, which is like a spicy Italian sausage. And then we have, because we are doing traditional Italian, traditional antipasto kind of board.
Got it.
I'm using prosciutto, salami, ham, and then chocolates. I like dark chocolates. We have some chocolate covered pretzels and breads.
Now, charcuterie, do you know where that came from originally? I'm going to ask you a history question here. It sounds French to me. Is it French?
You know what? I can't remember off the top of my head where charcuterie came from. I think it means grazing table. I could be wrong.
Okay, we're going to have to figure that one out.
If I'm totally butchering it, do not roast me on this thing. But I think it means kind of like a grazing table.
I love it. Now we've got some chocolate almonds, my fave.
Because you want to pair off the saltiness with the sweets and putting in whatever it is that...
Ooh, sweet and salty.
Whatever you want to put in that people will enjoy.
I like my personality.
Sweet and salty. That'll be kind of hot and spicy.
Yeah, hot and spicy for sure. And I think what's really cool about date night boards too, especially if you're coming late from work, you want to do something special for your partner, you want a hassle-free date night. I think charcuterie on demand for a date night is stress-free, and you both get to enjoy it.
Yeah, just order it up, take the pressure off. Let me do all the cooking.
Yes.
And then
we'll do all the planning.
And you get to show it off.
Just get to enjoy.
And then you can pick and choose what you want. That's the best thing about it. So if you want to have, like you said, if you want to have a vegetarian board, if your date's a vegetarian, or however you want to do it.
And the thing is, you don't have to tell them you ordered it, right?
No.
You can just take all the credit for it.
But I actually insist that you guys do that.
Exactly.
I've done that before. I've ordered takeout before, and I've actually done that before.
Oh, have you? Okay, can you cut the stem off this?
Yes, I was just much younger back then.
All right,
and I'm like,
Peter's ex-dates.
I know.
He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't do it.
And I'm talking about when I was in my early 20s. I'm like, trying to show off.
Ooh, I love this.
But yeah, 100%. Order it, take the credit, just tag me in the photos, tag us in the photos. Because you've been doing the dating advice, and you've been giving me tons of advice for years now, which is amazing. And I know I'm a stubborn student. But
you're a great student. You actually adopt, and you are very coachable. So I love that.
Thank you. How would you ask a date to come over for a charcuterie board? Because it's one of those things like it's not like going out for a drink. It's not like going out for a coffee because I'm putting a lot of effort into it, and I want to make sure she knows that. But I don't want to be over kind of like I want her to super appreciate it. I want it to be like I put a lot of effort into this, but at the same time, be you know what.
Well, you know, I think the biggest thing is, first of all, inviting your date to your home. I think that's a pretty big move, if you ask me. I know some people these days, like they'll just go to somebody's house on date one, and that's absolutely nothing that I would advise, right? So
okay, and why is that? Just for safety?
Well, safety. You're a fireman. Like how many? How many 911 calls you got? I'm being abducted. I mean, seriously though.
No, I agree. That's a really good point. You're right.
Safety is a concern.
Huge point.
And so before asking...
So this is not a first date?
No, I would not. I would absolutely not. I think that's creepy. I personally think it's very creepy.
I agree.
Now, the only way that that's an exception is if you were introduced by a friend, you already knew each other for a while, maybe you were not necessarily coworkers, but you've been in each other's neighborhoods.
Group dates.
Kind of, like a group date. That's easy. That's easy. But inviting a woman to your home at any time
is a big deal.
Is a big deal, and it's about making her feel comfortable.
100%.
So, and I would do that after, say, you've already met in person.
Yeah.
You've had multiple maybe video dates. You've now coordinated on social media, like she knows you're real.
Video dates are a big thing, eh?
Video dates. We'll talk about that next. But that being said, ask her if you feel. You know what? I would love to make, I have an idea. I have a date idea. I'd love to come over and make a charcuterie board for us. And, with a glass of wine or whatever it is, right?
That's my style.
I mean, play a board game or something.
I love that idea because that's actually like my style. I wouldn't do it on the first date, but I definitely love to show off. I guess show off.
Ask her if she feels comfortable. Would you feel comfortable?
Yeah, if the vibe is right, I would definitely appreciate it. You know what?
And I would do the date at a respectable hour. I think a Sunday afternoon is wonderful. I think
where nothing's implied.
Nothing's implied. If you say, "Hey, how about come over at 10 o'clock at night for my late night date bite?" Right? Like, no, I wouldn't do that. I would do that. And where there's daylight, right?
I would do that. That's awesome points too.
And make sure she feels comfortable, but don't surprise her out of the blue and say, "Come on over to my place."
I agree.
At a late hour, because then there's an implication that you want to take it to the next level.
And this becomes secondary.
Very assumptive.
Yeah, I agree.
I really don't care about this charcuterie board. It's not about that, but
you should.
You should.
So, but that's a good point because you're saying so. If there's a weeknight and you guys are working and you're both working and you are busy, order the board.
Yeah.
Order the board.
Order the board. The other thing that you want to do is you don't want to be assumptive about somebody's diet. I think it's really important that you ask, by the way, I want to create something special for you. It's a little bit of a surprise. Do you have any dietary issues?
I like
what
that one.
if she's like the woman on Love is Blind? Who was it? Natalie? She has IBS. And she's like got crazy stomach things and whatever. So after all my dates, I got IBS. That's like irritable bowel syndrome for those of you who don't know, right? And imagine you put cheese.
Yeah, so this is a no.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed? There is no cheese on this platter.
That's correct.
But was that intentional or just because?
I did. I was kind of going with, because this is a takeout board, and say you order it in the morning or whatever, you order it for your date. Mm-hmm. You want to have it as fresh as possible.
Yes.
So I do have cheeses. We do put cheeses. A bunch of cheeses are available. But for this one, I just figured going with the meats.
Curated meats. Some salt.
Some salt.
There's the salt. There's the sweet.
And then we have the
We've got the pickles.
Now,
what kind? I'm going to steal this. Is this a sweet pickle?
It's a sweet pickled gherkin. I think it's a gherkin. Yeah. And we have
that's
olives.
really nice. This is sweet.
This I did for you guys because everyone knows I'm not a big fan of olives, and I always forget the olives.
Well, Peter, it's not about you. Okay?
It's not about. I know.
It's not about you.
I know. And that's
the other thing.
In this instance, it's not about me.
If you could do something that is enjoyable for both of you,
yes,
I think that's really great. But when you can cater to your partner, I think it's a little bit overboard if you put something on the board that's
all for me. Yeah.
No, not just all for you, where it's all for her, because then she's eating by herself.
Oh, good call.
Think about it.
Yeah,
like if it's one half of the board, she's not a cheese person, and you go out and get the nut cheese, or you go out and get something that you know is not an easy thing to get.
That's a good call.
I think that would be really great.
So now we're pretty much done the board. So we took up all of the space of it, which is what I love. I love to have my boards as full as possible. Mm-hmm. So whatever rolls around is in its own little containers.
I love that. You ever see those, I feel like those snackables, right? Those snackables are in that plastic container and it's like, that's it.
I know.
Or you go to some parties and it's like, is that the full spread? But this is a respectable.
You know what the trick to that is like so I've mentioned this before.
I'm just gonna eat because
you don't put everything out in one shot. Bring it out in stages. So if you have like a whole bag of grapes, don't bring the whole grapes out. Bring it out a little bit, and then you replenish it as the party goes on or as the day goes on. And that way it's still fresh, still crisp. The cheese is not all melty. And people are all excited.
Have a little backup.
Have a backup, and planning is the key.
Yes.
Like dating.
Exactly. So Peter, I love how this looks like right now, but what can our friends expect when they order charcuterie on the go? What's it going to look like when they're at home?
You know what? I love that you said that because it's going to look like this. As you can see, this is what it's going to look like when you order charcuterie on demand. It's going to come to your front door looking just like this. It's going to have everything that you've seen on the board originally.
Wow.
And it's now in this box. It comes to your door, ready to go for you guys to enjoy.
I love this. Oh my goodness. So you can actually keep it in the box like you made it, or you can take it out. We literally just transferred what was on the board and we put it in here. So you can take it out and put it on your own board.
Every board is handmade. Every board is handmade. The way you want it, whatever you want in there, it'll come to your door like this. And then we'll pair it with a good beer.
Yeah, let's have a drink.
Which I think is always good.
What are you pairing this with?
I got a nice Peroni here. It's amazing. It's a nice light lager beer. But you can always have whatever you want.
This is great for movie night.
Yes.
I gotta say. And you know what I love about charcuterie is that it's like pickable, shareable food, right?
100%. And it's fun, right? And you can both build it together. So if you get the board delivered, you can both set it up. If you have your own boards at home, take it out, reset it the way you guys want it. And then it becomes your own board. It has your own taste, your own flair to it, which is awesome.
I never eat dates on its own. How does it taste?
Those are figs.
Figs.
Those are good, but they're so good. I like fresh figs. Yeah, I like fresh figs.
Is it a fresh fig?
Yes. They're good.
Cheers.
Cheers. So if you enjoyed this episode, order the board, Charcuterie on Demands. We have so many boxes coming. We're going to be working together on making some amazing date boxes. It's going to be great. Carm, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I love having you here.
I cannot wait for you guys to try
Charcuterie on Demand.
Charcuterie on Demand.
Cheers. If you have any questions or suggestions, reach out to me on Instagram or YouTube. If you live in the GTA or surrounding areas and you want me to cater your events, reach out to me and let's chat. And if you'd like a take-home charcuterie board, go to my website or Instagram and you can order it from there. Cheers!